What's up, everybody? Welcome to the community of Pioneer. This is near Clewiston, Florida, and LaBelle, Florida. It's a rural, what was that? Rural community. I know this video probably won't get a lot of views because it's just an odd place. You can see my hood because I have a squat.
It was my hair lotion.
Okay, so why are you putting on lotion while I'm driving, bro? It's like, you know how aggravating it is? I'm trying to drive and you're putting on lotion. You know how aggravating and insulting that is to my driving?
Oh, yeah.
So I know this video won't get a lot of views because it's just an obsolete place, but look, I have to do it because these communities need this. Like, there's nothing on the internet about these places, very little, so they need it. So Pioneer is a rural community. If it's kind of like a little slice of Cuba in Florida. There's a lot of little farms and little like mobile homes. No quema, no burning. Notice how the sign said no burning, no quema. So it also said it in Spanish. So I should give you guys an idea of what's back here. It's kind of like rural Latino communities. There's not a lot of it in the United States. Most Latinos tend to move into areas that are urban. This is a rural Latino neighborhood. I have friends that live back here, and people that I know and stuff. Cubans, Colombians, Venezuelans. So this is kind of a Nicaraguans, Mexican. It's a rural Latino neighborhood. It's kind of like the Golden Gate Estates, but more country. It's more agricultural based. So let's come back here. I'll show you guys some of these farms. People here have a lot of animals. They grow watermelons, they grow mangoes, they grow papaya, all the tropical fruit you would expect in the South. Stuff that smells kind of like Katie's butter lotion there, except for you can eat it.
It's jojoba oil.
Watch your mouth. So here, there used to be a guy here that I was looking at his property when we were on the market, and he's got kind of like a koi pond?
Yes.
Yeah, he had some koi ponds right here at the beginning, and there was like 2 mobile homes on the property. He wanted like, what, 140 or something? And it was like more. And it was on like 7 acres. So this is a place where you can get, like, if you really want to do like agriculture for real. But notice they have a no burning ban right now. It's kind of interesting. They don't allow you to burn. Where Alabama, where we live, you can burn whatever. Difference between Florida and Alabama when it comes to country life is in Florida, you got these palm things, and these things will catch fire on nothing. Where in Alabama, we don't have to worry so much about fires because the vegetation is not as flammable. But out here, it's very flammable, and this is a heavily agricultural area. As you can see, people actually have like hundreds of cows, and like there's actual livestock raising, and like, you know, people actually, it's not like a hobby. Like, these people are actually like farming here like they did back in their home country. So this is like a real, there's 2 mules right there. That's so cool. And this is this got a baby. Look at the baby mule, baby. Little baby mule drinking milk. So this is an area where people are like actively and actually raising animals. You guys like sleeping out in the fence. That's hilarious. So Guajiros, gente Guajira, un gran saludo a toda mi gente que los quiero. Un videito para que vean lo que es Pioneer. Para toda mi gente de Guajira les mando un gran saludo. Y nada, vamos a poner esto aquí para que la gente vean a Pioneer y sepan lo que hay acá, porque no hay muchos videos en este lugar. So this is similar to Montura. A lot of my Latino friends, when I wanted to move, I told them I wanted to move to a rural area. They recommended this area out here. And again, it came back to, there just wasn't anything on the market when I went to move that worked for me. You know, so this was on my radar. Look at all the sheep and lamb. And but you'll find very few places like this in the South. As you get further north, in the other states, like when I went to Wisconsin, I saw people who were actually farming for real. and like actually homesteading. Like there's some people like are actually homesteading here, and a lot of people tell me, Jose, I want to live in Southwest Florida, but I can't afford it, and I want to live in Southwest Florida, but like the rural way, and you can do it here. So it's just a whole different. And again, this is a community in that, you know, these people that are back here, definitely a community. It doesn't look like there's stores and stuff, but you know, there's a guy that's a barber, and there's a guy that, you know, there's people for everything back here. They have a volunteer fire force here. So now we're on Arcadia Avenue. So there, you know, you got all these winding roads, and then eventually back here there's like a grid pattern. A lot of mobile homes. Some people have built ranches and houses, but mostly mobile homes. Just a different type of landscape. I mean, and a different type of community. A rural Latino, like actual like farming community. The land is affordable enough because we're so far. We're almost like near Lake Okeechobee. We're far inland. And then the names of the streets are names of Florida towns. We just saw Arcadia, Bartow. But, you know, it's one of those places that if you write Pioneer on a map, you won't even find it. Technically, it's Henry Isles Boulevard, I think is what it's called, the main road here. But if you write Pioneer on a map, it won't even, like, take you here. But everybody calls it Pioneer. Like, the hardest thing about when I heard about this place when I used to live here in Florida, oh, go to Pioneer, man, you'll like it. It's kind of right up your alley. I started talking to friends about, hey, where should I move, whatever, back many years ago. And they're like, go to Pioneer, man. And I write Pioneer on a map, nothing shows up. Here's Everglades Boulevard. You write Everglades, you know, I mean, you write Pioneer on a map, but sometimes it won't even show up. It's just that, it's not even on a map, basically. But this is a community of Pioneer. And, you know, it's definitely different. It's not your typical community. Demographically, you know, it's not even what you would expect in South Florida, but because again, these are really actually farming people out here. You know, it's odd. It's real oddball. Let's take one of these streets so you guys can see what's on these roads. We're gonna go on Homestead Avenue. One side's paved, the other one's not paved. Let's take the paved side and see what's down here. You got some Australian pines. Some of the most horrendous things you could ever plant. And like I said, in Alabama, you can actually burn stuff, which is really great for a rural community. We're pretty much in the south central part of the state. You know, and Homestead is another thing. Like we're on Homestead in Miami. Man, it is expensive. There's not a lot of phone signal here, but there was on the way here. There's a lot of phone signal, more than in Naples, believe it or not, along Highway 80. Back here, we're totally not even enough signal to see a map, basically. So we're definitely outside of the signal area here. I think this is where my friend's farm is, back here in the back somewhere. He's probably working in Fort Myers or something today. Bass fishing out here is incredible. Great bass fishing. Pioneer 15th Street right here. We're not going to go down these dirt roads. We're just going to stay out of the, you know, there might not be just maybe a farm or two back here, so we're not going to go on the dirt roads. It's kind of intrusive. We don't want to do that. But we're just going to pull out of here and go back. But yeah, this is what it's like out here. We got some signal here because there's some fields around. Sometimes you get out in the fields. Great, perfect signal now. Kind of perfect signal. Come up Homestead, Christopher, and there's a bunch of farms and stuff. And this is big. We're not even like, I guess I could take this out. No, once you cross onto that side, you're on that side. Yeah, let's get out. There's not too many farms on this side. We don't want to have too much attention, but and this is massive back here. It's big. We're just at the front of it. But crap, we're already 9 minutes into this video, so yeah, there it is. A little bit of Florida that you wouldn't expect. Like real homesteading out here. People are actually homesteading. I want to take a dirt road on the way out, just to show you guys another kind of part of it all. Let's see if I can get on the dirt road. You can see a little different. Let's just wash this car. Oh well. It was a free wash too. I used my brother's water hose.
Yeah, it's always good when you're taking from Gadiel.
Yeah. But yeah, just something different. And again, I know this video might not get a lot of views, but it's not even about the views. It's just eventually somebody's gonna be curious about this place, and there's like nothing on the internet for it. So now we're on a dirt road. You can see there's some bamboos right here. Mostly mobile homes. See how they're making a hut out of straw?
Mm-hmm.
That's an old, usually like an old Cuban guy that would do something like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh dang, that real little trail is on private property. Yeah, that they closed at 11th. Remember this place here? You remember the Cuban guy? Is this his property with the Cuban guy? Remember the Cuban guy that wanted to move to another country?
No, that wasn't it.
That wasn't it. But you remember that house?
Yes, I do.
I remember the guy's last name.
It might have been down there.
And he told me like when you sell your house, just come with cash. But we never did. He finally sold that house.
Yeah.
He was asking like 170, but he wanted to leave the country. You could have offered him like anything. He might have gone for it. This is supposed to be 11th Street right here, but there's like it's fenced off now. That's supposed to be like a road, like it goes to other houses, but this is private property.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and we talked about how we didn't want to buy another mobile home. I think that was kind of discouraging to us. Was we weren't going to buy another mobile home. We talked about that. There's just bad all the way around bad investments. But this is massive, guys. But we're gonna go ahead and dive. Just kidding. That's after prison show he does that. We're gonna dive. But yeah, anyways, that's what it is. Just a rural community. Lots of farming. Odd, really unique, different. This is similar to Montour Ranch, and this is a great alternative for somebody who wants to go and get estates or homestead Florida, but they just can't come up with the total. My friends that live out here, look at a Jeep for sale. Somebody was asking me about a Jeep, $12,500. Huh. I don't know if my friends are looking for a Jeep right now. I'm gonna tell this lady. Tell this lady. Why am I like a community retard? There's a place in Henry County, Florida called Pioneer on Henry Isles Boulevard. There's a Jeep for sale for $12,500. Not sure if it's automatic or manual. This is a poor rural community. They might be more flexible on the price than somebody in town. I'm like a go-to guy for everything. I hate it. I have to do so many things for so many people. It's hilarious. Tú sabes, mi gente, nomás quería enseñarle aquí a la gente lo que hay acá atrás en Pioneer. Yo sé que mucha gente quiere comprar el estate o ver el área. Y un gran saludo a toda la gente de esta área. Look at the farmer here. They have the name of the Casa de Campo, House of the Country. Mucha gente quiere ver esta comunidad y vive en otro país.
Look at the babies.
No, look at the lambs. Viven en otro país y quieren ver esta área y no han podido verla en persona. So, este video se lo digo a ustedes para que tengan algo aquí para compartir con sus amigos que quieren saber cómo es este lugar o lo que sea. No hay mucha información sobre este lugar en internet, so quiero hacer una cosa bien hecha y probar este video. Yo por un tiempo miré muchas propiedades aquí en este barrio, lo que no pude hacerlo porque las cosas no se dieron al tiempo que tenían que haberse dado, pero yo miré aquí para mí cuando yo vi en Naples, pero Finalmente me fui para Alabama porque es más barato que la Florida. La Florida está muy cara. You know, like before, what I got in Alabama would have been like twice as much here, or maybe even 3 times as much here. But you can grow stuff here like mangoes and a bunch of other tropical fruit that won't grow in Alabama. So it's kind of like a trade-off. It does get pretty cold in the winter overnight. It'll get into the 20s here.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, won't it get into the 20s out here?
Yep.
And that's what it gets in Alabama overnight.
Yep.
Isn't that odd? Do you find that odd?
Mm-hmm.
Like the coldest temperature we got up there usually was like 28. But see, we got it back to back every night. Here it might just be like, in the winter here, it might just be like one day when there's a cold front.
Yeah, it gets consistently cooler here.
Probably like 50s every night. But it's not every night for a whole month straight. Like
40s, 50s. That's usually what it was about.
Yeah. But every once in a while, it will hit 28 degrees out here. Yeah, it will. It'll get into the 20s out here. High 20s out here. But you're talking like during like a cold front.
Yeah.
But it still won't snow. It's after the cold front. They get a lot of like frost on their windshields out here.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of humidity and cool weather. That's the odd thing about South Florida. It's like every mile is a degree. So, like we live 2 miles from the beach, so it could be 50 degrees where we live. You go 10 miles inland, it might be 39. It's 1 mile. Every mile is a degree on a cold winter day in Florida because the ocean keeps it warm. The ocean air keeps it warm. All right, guys, there you go. This is a rural part of Florida. Seldomly explored. You might just drive through here and see this one single gas station and road. You might not think much of it. Oh, there's a whole little community back here with unique demographics and unique little economical activity. I'm surprised there's so many people at the Pioneer Station.
This is an area that I really wanted to move to.
It's not gonna hurt me.
Is that someone you know?
It could be somebody I know. It could be my friend, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it them?
I
It
think
could be.
so.
Let's see if this him he'll pass me.
Yeah.
It might be them.